okay, we need to see iPetGoat2 again, because I am waking up to a lot. Let's see if I can get this back to the beginning of this video. iPetGoat2. I'm understanding it a lot better now. Why the goat has the UPC code on his head. The goat is North America. His eyes are doing the swirly thing. Remember we talked about symbolism and how they perverting the symbols and they make them go counterclockwise. It's unnatural. So they've hypnotized the goat. But the UPC code tells us which goat, because there are two goats. That's why it's iPetGoat2. I get the two goats now. Because you have the United States of America, and then you have the United States, the corporation or the company. And this is the company. Okay? That's why it's iPetGoat2. We're just going to go through it again. Satan calling the shots. George Bush was a puppet. We're post 9/11. We are on the Masonic floor and he's doing the dance. He's putting on the show. He's not happy about what they've done to him. Of course, all of our markers, the oil spill, Katrina, the Oklahoma City bombing, the World Trade Center, they're all there. Sorry, had to do the Kelly thing. Let's start this back up. I'm just going to let it skip through and get to the important parts. He's showing you the church makes money off of war. They tell you it means I love you, and I bet they do. They love us a lot. Let me get that straight. Now he morphs into Obama. Obama has on the he's graduated. He's a Grand Master. He's got on the purple tassel and the Mercury finger. Mercury rules commerce. He's the new president of the corporation. Okay? That's right. He thinks he pulled it off. And here's the problem he has. We know about what they do to the children. And this is the knowledge. The forbidden knowledge. The knowledge of good and evil. The forbidden fruit. Okay? Of course, the different symbols. The yin yang. The beanie. They're all there. They're all doing it. They're all tied up in this. She's in the circle. And she drops the apple. And what comes out of the apple? The apple divides in half. There's two knowledges. The knowledge of the two goats. The iPetGoat2. The country and the corporation. And these two knowledges come together and produce a what? A lotus. And what does the lotus do? It makes him start sweating bullets. He is still the president of the corporation. We've been told we have two presidents, a shadow government, a president in the wings, that Obama never stepped down. He didn't. Trump runs the country, but Obama has continued to run the corporation. That's why they shadow Trump everywhere they go. When Trump goes to a company, somebody in the deep country, somebody in the deep state when he leaves, they'll go right behind him because they're shadowing him. And so the president of the corporation is now sweating bullets. So why I want to show you that, hold on, let me pause. I sent you, my last video was to send you to Lotus's channel. She's been on my channel for a while. This is where I sent you. So says Lotus, July 1st, hashtag start a war update. Right? She is Lotus, keeper of the crown. Controller of the crown is Lotus. That's a title. Lotus is like POTUS, FLOTUS, SCOTUS. She's Lotus, keeper of the crown. It's something of the United States. So Lotus comes on the scene and exposes the two different entities. Now we're in the winter of our discontent. We're in the valley of the shadow of death, Psalm 23. And here, this is artificial initiation. You can almost call that false flag, because that's the way they get things done. They don't do them naturally. They're unnatural. They're UN. They're United Nations. They've got us in unworld. We need the new world, NU, not UN. So immediately after sweating bullets because of Lotus, the 13 stripes are gone. That's the 13 colonies that actually house this corporation, right? That corporation foundation. The 13 colonies. Gone. The clock's at midnight. We still have the 50 states. But that part's gone. Everything's still in lockdown. Just like we have a Twin Towers that came down, they have a Twin Towers coming down. Remember, there are two ledgers. You have to know the ledgers, plural, to have knowledge. And now their ice castles economy coming down. Little boy blue, Mercury, Shiva, he's got on different masks. He runs the commerce, the economy. He's doing his dance, and he's going to jump to his death, right? Then in comes the Anubis boat with the one whose feet's in fire. We get the Osama bin Laden CIA character summoning up the war. They need to try to save the petrodollar. They need to try to save this, because it's just been collapsed by Lotus. Another symbol, the Statue of Liberty on the symbol of... Wow, why does she always do that? Okay, I paused. I lost my train of thought on that one. So we got the Statue of Liberty on the symbol of the Battle of Fire and Ice. The symbol of Israel, or the Zionist rather. And she's going to drop the light. Lady Liberty drops her light. Well, that's what they want to tell you it is. This is the new human. This is what they're trying to create. This is what it's all about. They want us thinking a certain way. They want to control every aspect of our lives, everything. So they're doing it from the egg. Okay? From before birth, they're already got dibs on us. And of course, the old eye of Satan watching it. And the Christ with the third eye. Let's let him back up for a second. He has the water triangle pointed down here. That's Jupiter for this age. Only 3 constellations carry this symbol. That's Pisces with Jupiter, Cancer with the moon, and Scorpio with Mars. But this, Jupiter. Balaam called Peter Satan. Mercury's just the devil. Okay, TV, the media, just eat their brains out. Internet, market plunge. Here's the go signal. They destroy the mosque, probably the Dome of the Rock, because the agenda is the third temple. Remember that. The agenda is the third temple. So Lotus comes on the scene. Half of America is divided because the corporation is gone. And so the CIA has to start a war to try to salvage the petrodollar. And of course, I always associate Shiva with India and CERN. This is interesting here because now we can look at this and it's almost like that eye thing, what they do to the children with the adrenochrome and a dead child. Woe to those who are with child and give suck in those days. That looks like an adrenochrome bottle. They've extracted his soul, his essence, and there's the beetle that pushes the sun through, but he has no ball to push. Nothing there. Skull and bones, and this one's a gift. These are this is going to be. He's got his gun. This is part of MK Ultra, or the UN does this too. They take these children and they make an army out of them. They brainwash them. Unworld. And the New Age movement, along with the sickle and the hammer, all in the goo. All going down the tubes, down the wash. Immigration, communism, New Age, gone. Your social justice war, out trying to stop the war the CIA's trying to stop, but death steps in. And we only have fireworks twice a year, and that's New Year's or 4th of July. Hence, that's why I'm doing this video now. I don't like to do fear porn at all, but if I didn't warn you of what I'm seeing, then I'm held accountable. And because if I see Lotus as Lotus, then bringing the house down, which is what she's doing, that's a timeline marker. We're all up in the middle of this. POTUS has until, or Protozoa has until July the 6th to respond to this. So it seems correct that the CIA would want to come in and stop it to keep from Protozoa acting upon Lotus and sealing the deal, putting us back under constitutional government. So timeline is the fireworks. So we've got the Lotus and the fireworks all going down now. So between the fireworks and Lotus, there's a valley of shadow of death where they're going to try to start a war and blow up a mosque. And I think we know the rest of it and how it all goes. Of course, it seems like it's going to play out exactly that way. So the media, full on. I mean, I feel like this kid. I can't even take the television. It's unbearable. It does this to you, right? I feel his pain. No hope. And then everything changes. The house is coming down. Shiva's doing her dance. They're trying to open the gates at CERN. The Masons are getting the hell on board. The zebrafish, sheep heads, out of the spiral, the wormhole, the hand of God, and down comes the phallic. A couple things I noticed about the phallic worship here. Okay, the black eye ritual, right? She's got the black eye ritual going on. The adrenochrome club. And she loses her fertility. They're no longer fertile. Your magic, whatever comes from heaven, her magic don't work anymore. And she has on the hula skirt almost. It's a skirt like Hawaii. Hawaii really stands out there. It's very important to them. And here's what Lotus does is going to destroy this. The paperwork that she's got in her hands, if we can get it through the right courts and into the right people will take action on it. This is the corporations of America that rule, the corporations of the world that rule everything. So when the corporations are dismantled, then Jupiter and his little media is hightailing it out of there. They're no longer brainwashing our children, but they've left them hollowed out. And death marches on, whirling dervish. Several ways to interpret this. Of course, he is spinning counterclockwise. That's part of the UN agenda. And it is Turkey rising, right? A whirling dervish is a type of ritual, ceremonial ritual, not unlike Hermetics out of Egypt, where you learn to alter your state of consciousness, but not through the narrow path, right? Not through the narrow path. It's very lunar based. But I call that Turkey rising. Turkey's rising in the Middle East. Shiva keeps changing masts here. They're going through earth, water, air, fire, fixed, mutable, and cardinal. There'll be 12. Keeps changing the mask. And out he comes, feet in fire with all the lotuses everywhere. Finally opens his eyes. Now we're awake. We get to see the church come down, the false church, the ice castles. It's water everywhere. You've built your house on the sand, right? The beach is at the waterline, so they've built their house on the sand. Then we get to watch it whirl around, and it's going to destroy the pyramids. The pyramid of the sun, the pyramid of the moon, the power structures there, all coming down. All the symbolism, the old world. We get a new heaven and a new earth. The old world, we won't even remember it anymore. And that is our iPet Goat 2. Update. Did you get to meet Lotus today? Have you met the Lotus?